right. Amazing people in Soul Family around the globe. It is an exciting Sunday, February 2nd, here in Thailand, where I'm at. And I wanted to come on and share something that I know a lot of people are dealing with right now as all these things are revealed. And whether this is coming up for you or not, and you may already know this, you may be way ahead of a lot of us, which is great. But if it hasn't come up for you yet and you haven't considered it, it's gonna come up. And it's a big piece of being able to move into the higher frequency timelines, call it 5D and beyond, call it New Earth, call it whatever you like. But it's really clear that you can see a split right now, a divide. You've got people that are triggered. You've got people that are hating. You've got people that are just angry. You've got people that are being manipulated by the media and other sources, frequencies. So many things are being attacked: our food, our air, our water, the frequencies. Some people don't know what's up and what's down. Some people can't tell if people are real or if they're a clone. It's absolutely crazy right now. And you couldn't even make this up in the craziest Hollywood movie ever. So, what are the tools that we use moving forward? How do we use our conscious awareness and our powers of observation? Keyword, observation, not reacting. That's what the majority of people are basically manipulated into doing, because a lot of them have just been trusting the television for decades, and they get triggered. Whenever you feed people the same thing over and over and over and over, whether it's true or not, they start to believe it. And as you can see, there's a huge divide right now. I don't know if anybody's seeing this because I'm not seeing anybody in the room. Let me check and see here. Okay, there's Rob's. Hey, Rob's. Great to see you, brother. You always seem to catch me. So it's very, very key moving forward. You can, I don't really like labels, but I titled this Lightworkers #1 focus right now. Let's just say people that are paying attention, a lot of people know that they came here for this time and that there's a huge shift happening right now and there's choices to be made. Hey, Asia, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for being out there at this exciting time. So there's this huge divide right now because people are emotionally triggered, rightly so. A lot of things have been targeted and attacked. And if you haven't done a lot of research outside of the mainstream media, you're basically going to be lost. So people have two choices: to either begin to do some research or to just project their fear, their anger, their hatred towards the new person that got into the presidency or whatever. I woke up last night in the middle of the night, which I usually do, and that's when I receive my downloads or my clarity. And 9:09 right now in northern Thailand. And what I saw was, and I've seen this before, but just for the purpose of this transmission, where we're placing our focus moving forward, I saw a lot of these people, key names, Fauci, Klaus Schwab, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, since I have a Telegram channel, I'm seeing a lot of the reveals that a lot of other people aren't seeing. And I've been going down the rabbit hole for a long, long time. And I don't claim to know anything. In fact, one of my power mantras is, I know nothing. That way, I don't let my ego jump to conclusions. I question everything. I step back. It's not because I'm so great and because I'm, you know, more aware or awake than anybody else. It's because I've learned. You know, I understand and I see how the system works and how they play people and how they've kept people recycling in loops for incarnation after incarnation after, incarnation. And it's very clear right now that there's a choice point. This has been prophesied for thousands of years. And I can't prove this is why I came here this time, but I'm pretty freaking sure this is why I chose to come here this time, to go through what I went through as part of my soul contract and the pain and programming that I experienced coming into this human body, having to come down from the frequency as an unlimited divine multi-dimensional quantum soul or being or whatever you want to call it, and have to lower our frequency, for anybody that sees this, down into a human body. It's a completely different and traumatic event. And the only reason that I can think of that I or any of the other amazing people that I've connected with all over the world through social media and mainly Facebook is because we knew that we would remember that the shift was happening and we wanted to be part of it. And, let's see what's up here. Yep. Thank you, Kristen. Yep. Things are moving very quickly. Time is dissolving, which is a trip in itself, because that brings up a lot of questions for the mind. But let's just stay focused on this one point right now, or I'll lose it because I'm watching comments come in. Hey, Karina, great to see you. Okay. It can be difficult, but I would not feed your subconscious that instruction, because you have more than enough to make it through this or you wouldn't be here. So I'm going to share a couple things and a couple tools, and we're all in this together. And if anybody needs assistance or whatever, as long as they're not being a victim, post your comment if you'd like, and we'll send you a bunch of love and energy. Nobody's above or below anybody else here. It's just that we're all learning. So when I woke up in the middle of the night last night, I was tuning into several different things, but I had seen this one video by this really brave and intelligent person that delivered his take on what the new president is in the United States. And he said things like, obviously, this person's not perfect. Nobody is. Nobody is. But he named off about 20 things that this person has done, not only in the first week, but since he's been in control of the military, going back about 8 years, maybe even farther. And yet people are being taught to hate and hate and hate and hate. And it's all coming from the television. People aren't doing their research, and they're just being, this is what the dark ones are doing. They know they're going down. And he also stated very intelligently, and he wasn't one-sided. He was like, I intend that I'm right, but I could be wrong. But why would we have come here this time if we were just going to go down and be further enslaved and chipped and frickin' turned into, soulless drones? But he said something that was very interesting, and he had done his research. And he wasn't from the US, but he lives there now. And he said, the amount of people that do black magic that have joined together to attack him and all of the other people like Kash Patel and the people that are getting into the FBI to expose all this stuff, and RFK, whether you think he's good or not, he's exposing stuff. And if you're working for the dark, you don't expose the dark. It's just plain and simple. It doesn't mean anybody's perfect here. They're the savior. That's not the point. You are the savior. We are the saviors together that are shining our light. And then part two, which I'm going to get into in a minute, which is what happened last night, which was the download, which will be obvious to a lot of you, but let's bring it into the light here and join together and do this stuff. And I'm going to be creating a weekly community gathering thing where we can come together and assist each other, share the tools from what I do, which is I take people through the waking up in the dream process, which is focusing on inner healing first, because you got to do that. You got to do it. The second part is dismantling the entire belief system because it's a prison. And the third thing is consciously and intentionally creating your day as the creator that you are every single day, first thing in the morning, and then asking, how can I serve the collective today? How can I serve the collective today? And it doesn't mean you need to do some grand frickin' mind-blowing thing. You could just be a good mom. You could be pulling your kids out of school, whatever it is. But we're going to begin doing that because a lot of people need a lot of support right now. And I'm receiving messages every day. What about this? What about that? And So I'm going to create a weekly community thing that people can come in. There may be a donation, but it's going to be valuable. And I'm going to over deliver because it's key. Okay. So this person was saying, and I posted the video on my Telegram channel. I didn't post it on Facebook yet, but it's getting circulated on Facebook, so you'll probably see it. What was the guy's name? I'll find it. Anyway, he was stating that the people that are doing dark black magic have all come together, and this one person in the United States that just got into the presidency is being more attacked than any person in history. Okay? So if you're a hater, you're on the fence, he did this, he did that, look at how this one person is being targeted and has had more assassination attempts on him than anybody in history that we know of. If that doesn't get you to go, then nothing will, okay? So I'm not pro DJT, I'm pro truth. And I do a lot of research, and everything I research, I ask. I let myself know, I know nothing, I know nothing, I know nothing. But it's very clear if you're watching Telegram or Rumble or BitChute, where things are not being censored, that the light is winning and these things are being exposed. And there's certain people that have risked their entire life when they don't have to serve and to play a role in this awakening. So there's my 3.5 cents on that. Now, getting down to Lightworkers' #1 focus right now. When I don't want to call it channeling because I just wake up in the middle of the night and I'm clear. So between the times of 3 and 5 a.m., that's when I do my downloading, or I get my clarity, I get my ideas to remember for Jeff moving forward, for how I can serve, what I can do, what I can offer people, how I can support people, and the wild dogs here in Thailand where I'm at, and just anybody in service, because I'm in a position to be able to do that now, finally, in my life. So you've got people like Gates and Schwab and all these people that are being exposed in the government and in the medical industry, and just all these people that for some reason were either wounded or they chose to take money over assisting the planet. And all this stuff is being brought into the light now. So here's the deal. So yes, all of those people should be held accountable for their crimes against humanity, and especially the ones that are doing the most horrific crimes against children. All that stuff's going to come out. A lot of you are aware of it. It's been hidden for a long time because nobody wanted to talk about it, and now it's coming out. And I'm thankful to the people that are putting their lives on the line to expose this stuff, like Mel Gibson and other people, whether you think he's good or not, or he's involved. Look, it's coming up into the light. If you have a propensity to attack somebody, when somebody like me says, okay, these people are doing something good, step back and take a breath and observe. Nobody's perfect. Not me, for sure. So here's the deal. These people are going to be held accountable, but what is it going to take for us to move into New Earth timelines? We're not going to be able to hold any frequency of hatred or lack of forgiveness towards anyone. So that means I would invite people to get in the habit and I'm sure some of you already are, I'm not saying nobody out there knows this stuff. I have to start at a base point because of all the messages that I receive from other people and the triggers and the pain and things that's coming up from people that are having to face this stuff. And we came here to face it. We not only came here to face it, but we came here to clear it. And it starts within ourselves first. So all these people, the bad ones or whatever, we must blast them with light and forgiveness. We got to do it. You cannot move into higher timelines while you're still holding lack of forgiveness towards anybody. And that means your parents, whatever your father did to you, whatever your alcoholic mother did. And I do sessions with people that have had horrific things happen to them. And I'm grateful that people trust me to take them through this process because it happens very quickly when you're ready. You could be holding on to something for 60, 70, 80, 90 years. And once you're ready, come and do it. And it's like, we clear it. It doesn't mean we can immediately clear the memory, but once you understand why you chose that keyword chose, there's nobody to blame anymore. It's like, what is the gift here? What is the gift here? What is the gift here? And that's a huge part of the waking up in the dream process. It's asking that because we haven't been taught how to do that. We've got these wounds and they frickin' hurt. And we've got wounds from past lifetimes where we've been murdered, persecuted for speaking the truth. I've been told that happened to me. I understand that because I've been questioning everything in this lifetime, and it always got me in trouble in school and church, and all that stuff was part of my soul contract, so I could see how they kept people giving their power away. So if there's something you're still upset or angry about, step back and ask yourself, what is the gift here? Because otherwise you're going to be in resistance and you're going to keep attracting, because we're magnetic beings, and whatever we're holding within, we're going to attract that into our timelines. Think of each one of those dots as a timeline. There's higher ones and there's lower vibrational ones. And until we heal and clear this stuff, we're going to keep attracting it, whether it's lack of money, lack of abundance, or maybe we keep attracting the wrong person in relationships, because everything is a mirror. And so until we clear this stuff and heal and forgive everyone. And here's the deal. Everyone who's our mirror perfectly played their role on our agreed upon soul contract that we agreed upon and chose before we came down here. Now I know that's going to be a trigger point, because when I was told that 20, 30 years ago, I was like, there's no way I would have chosen all this pain and suffering. But I did. And now I know that the only way out is to go, what is the gift here? And then when you can forgive somebody, how do you know that you've forgiven them? And this might be a tough one at first, but here's how. You can thank them for perfectly playing their role. And I know that's a huge trigger because I deal with people that have been raped and molested, and I get it. I'm not just saying, just go, okay, thanks. No, I'm saying, step up. We chose some really difficult shit to clear this time for ourselves, our family lineage, and the collective. Thank you, Gabby, for being here and holding space and doing everything that you're doing out there. I'm not saying everything I'm not claiming everything I'm saying is true, but I journey with a lot of people, and I've had to clear this stuff on my own. And I've had some really, really good and compassionate teachers when I didn't understand it. And I kept beating myself against the wall, and I was pissed and I was angry. And finally I just went, this isn't working. How do I heal this stuff? How do I heal? And right now it's easier to heal and clear this stuff than it's ever been, because we're being supported by so many frequencies that are coming into the planet and so many other different reveals of light sources and frequencies that it's a lot easier to do it when you're ready. And for anybody that stayed on here, it shows I have 19 people. Thank you. I've been on here 19 minutes. Thank you. I'm glad that this is resonating. I'm just talking to Jeff first to remind him. And if anybody else out there benefits from this, or you'd like to share this transmission with somebody, I can trigger people, I do my best to be gentle. Some people say I might be a little bit intense. I would call it passionate, because once you figure out the tools, because it took me so freaking long to figure out how to heal. And in 100% honesty, Jeff is still healing. I've still got layers of stuff that comes up. I don't know. I think from my conversations with people around the world that as long as you're in a human body, there's going to be something to clear. It doesn't mean it's your own stuff, but if you feel it inside, it doesn't matter whether it's yours or the collective or whatever. Learn how to clear it. Learn how to observe it. Learn how to step back. Learn how to stop instead of automatically reacting, which is what so many people do. They're automatic reactors. They're not conscious observers. They don't know how to catch a trigger. Because what happens is they've either got a wound or a trauma, which we all have. I've never met anybody in a human body that didn't have one. So there's no shame in that. You chose it. You're actually a rock star. Give yourself a freaking high five. Look in the mirror and go, wow, I love you. I love you. I love you. And see what comes back. Because when I first did the I love you exercises, love wasn't coming back. What was coming back was, yeah, you're just saying that because somebody told you to say that, and you've done all this stupid shit, and you harmed people, and you drank alcohol, and you did drugs, and you wrecked your motorcycle, and you were mean to people. Yeah, I get it. Okay? Those were the programs running, giving me a chance to see them and clear them. But I love you. I love you. I love you. And some days it's stronger than others. But if you can't look in the mirror and love yourself, then there's some definite healing to be done. And this especially goes out to men, but there's women out there too that are just as wounded. So, you know, I'm here to stand up for I'm a supporter of the men and the women. I'm a protector of the divine feminine, and I'm a big protector of the children and the animals. But it's time to heal for everybody. So I've got some great tools that work very quickly if you're ready. There's other people out there that have great tools. I've found the process that I have to be really, 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 really fast, because you end up getting a tracking sheet, which is really simple, and it guides you through the steps every single day. It takes you 5 minutes to fill it out at night. And what happens is you can't clear or heal a program until you can see it. So I just mapped this out. It's so simple. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to bring it into the light. If anybody needs support, I'm happy to bring it into the light on this call, because that's what we're here to do. And we're here to unite together. If we have differences of opinion on little things, let's not let that from keeping us coming together for the bigger picture. It's okay to disagree on certain things, but let's have conscious conversations where we're not raising our voice and we're not projecting. Let's go, that's interesting. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because if you can't sit down with somebody and have a conscious conversation, especially in your relationship, like I know people that are in relationships and they're like, yeah, we've been together a long time, and you know, we just don't talk about certain things because we disagree. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. But if you're holding things inside you about your partner because you can't really sit down eye to eye, kind of really naked, and I don't mean with no clothes, I just mean really drop everything and really be 100% vulnerable, then that's not a super high level relationship. And I'm not judging anybody's relationship out there. Let's talk about Jeff. I have yet to be in a relationship with somebody, an intimate relationship, where we both have the tools to really sit and not be triggered and not project. And I haven't been in a serious physical relationship in about 8 years, because number one, I've been in Thailand and I don't speak Thai. And, you know, I've been able to work on Jeff for a long time now. And I'm not saying I'm ahead of anybody, but I do have some tools that work really quickly. So anyway, the main point of this was the energies that are coming into the planet are here to assist us more than ever. Our DNA, our bodies are being upgraded. Our consciousness is being upgraded. I play with reversing aging, speaking to my cells every day. It's part of the thing that's on the daily tracking sheet. If you're interested in that, you can grab the book. You can grab it right now, instant download, 50% off. And, whenever I do this, I feel like, okay, here comes the sales thing. Look, currently we're all paying to live on this planet. I give away a lot of my time, all my lives. I show and tell what the tools are, but we watch and we see a lot of people sharing things on YouTube and Rumble, and everybody's got something to share, and we all have to, get by. All the proceeds from my book go to the doggies, and it's cheap. So if you're interested in that, great. There's a 50% link. You can always go to portal2awakening.com. I'm interested in the people that are here to move through the healing process and the dismantling the limiting beliefs, and then really consciously taking back your power from a place of love where you understand just how powerful you are, and you begin to watch your thoughts and your words and what's running in the background. And when you practice these tools, you will learn to feel immediately if it's a program that's not for the highest good of all. You'll feel it. And then instead of doing something like distracting yourself, getting on your phone, drinking alcohol, eating ice cream, or any of these other distractions, which can happen to all of us, okay? You will learn to go, oh, there's a trigger, there's a judgment, there's something to clear. And you'll start to clear this stuff really, really quickly. That's mastery. It's not about, oh, I'm perfect today and I've got it all figured out and I'm the highest light worker. I haven't met anybody that's on that level, but I've met people that are willing to be vulnerable and honest with themselves and go, fuck, I thought I cleared that like 3 years ago. Well, there's still a little piece, And so you just go, okay, I got the tools. And then you say, thank you for showing me that there was still another piece, so I don't have to come back and reincarnate again or go through another relationship and then have it end up painfully because I still had something that was buried inside me. There's no way out but in. There's no magic pill. And it can be frustrating, yeah, but you knew before you came here and signed your contract to incarnate that the chance of you waking up, and not only waking up and having unlimited abundance, unlimited health, being able to live as long as you desired to on this planet. And there will probably be med beds coming very soon. However, there'll come a time when you don't need a med bed. People that are living on higher dimensions don't need med beds. They don't have all these wounds and stuff. So think about this. Put this in your cap and give yourself another high five. Why would you have chosen, keyword chosen, to come down here and go through the toughest, most incredible, inverted, in every way, deceptive, harmful, targeted by your air, food, water, frequencies, everything? Why would you have chosen to do that unless you were the most badass mofo, no ego intended, in the universe? You wouldn't have. And you might go, well, I don't know if I chose to come down here. Great question. That's using your awareness. I can't prove that I remember my soul contract or that I chose. I don't know if we're in a dome where we're being recycled like a fishbowl, and there's other people above us that hijacked our DNA that are laughing at us and playing with us. I do know they're laughing at us, and I do know they see us as food. But there's something different about this incarnation, and you can see it everywhere you look if you're paying attention. Things are being exposed, and there are other beings, energies, whatever, that we may not be able to see because we can only see a tiny percentage of what's really going on. So I'm told, and it seems that way for me. But I'm constantly out in nature every day, and I'm asking for guidance, and I'm walking in gratitude, and I'm looking at the leaves and the insects and stuff and seeing if I can see something on a different level than just like, that's a tree, that's a leaf, that's a worm, that's a bird. I'm doing my best to tune in on maybe a deeper level than I had before. And I'm getting my bare feet on the ground when I can. And I'm doing sun gazing, and I'm, going up and putting my hands and my arms around trees, not because I'm so great, because I'm like, man, I'm going to listen to anything that anybody has to say that may raise my frequency or get me to remember. And I'm going to make that my goal every single morning. And it's not because I'm so great. It's because I'm intending to move into higher timelines just like everybody else. And I'm doing my best to remove every distraction, every trigger, and every wound that might keep me here and keep me having to come back and go through another incarnation or recycle. And I don't think anybody that's listening to this right now is going to have to do that. I just don't. So what do we do moving forward? We heal and we forgive. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. And if there's any questions, feel free to pop it in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're staying creative. Hey, Alicia, great to see you. I see you out there. Wow. I don't know about that, but thank you for the kind words. I'm definitely passionate. Yes, I've eaten mushrooms probably hundreds of times, but I haven't eaten any in probably 10 or 15 years. I've done ayahuasca 3 nights in a row, and I took the second cup every night, like my friend told me to, and it was intense. But I'll be 100% honest with you, and this frustrated me. I cannot name one thing that I took away from those 3 nights in a row of ayahuasca taking the second cup. They come, if you've ever done ayahuasca, they give you a cup, and then you trip and you journey. And you have a bucket next to you because a lot of people are purging, and I was. And then my friend told me, he said, they're going to come around 3 or 4 hours later, and they're going to offer you a second cut, a second dose. He said, always take it. And I'm like, hell yeah. If I'm going to go in and do this, I'm going to freaking take it. So I took the second cup every time. And the last night they had to come get me in the bathroom because I couldn't walk back to the, we were in a big dome here in Thailand, like a, what do they call it? A yurt. And I was stuck on the toilet, and I had to have this woman come in and help me put my clothes back on because I couldn't even get up. I said, no, close the ceremony without me. Well, they don't close the ceremony without people. They can't. So I had to be helped back to the ceremony, and then I couldn't sit in a circle with people because I was still so gone. I had to lay on my mattress in the yurt. Well, the point I'm saying this is, I have a lot of people I watched all the documentaries on YouTube about people that, go to the Amazon. And if you ever desire to do ayahuasca, I would recommend going to the Amazon. There's a lot of people that are offering it now that are not properly trained, and entities can come in and it can really harm you. So just to answer your question, I didn't take away anything from my journey. And I saw these other people that said, oh my God, it changed my life and this and that. I don't know if you need to do ayahuasca. I would be very careful. But anyway, that's my answer. So anyway, to recap, we are here to be the conscious observers and the space holders for those that are going to need so much support when I think the emergency broadcast system is coming. I think they're going to have to reveal everything, because if they don't reveal everything, how are we going to heal it? So all this stuff's going to be exposed. Pedophilia and all the intentional poisoning and harming and the hijacking of our DNA and the hijacked for the United States. And it happened in other countries too, UK for sure. Our original Constitution as a republic got hijacked in 1871. This whole banking system, the whole law system, it's all 100% illegal. It's all illegal. And I see it being exposed now, and a lot of people are hating on the people that are exposing it. Isn't that interesting? So anyway, our invitation right now is to heal ourselves, to join together in community, and to be ready to support all these people that are going to be completely shocked when they figure out that almost every single thing they've been told is a lie. And so get ready and use the tools of kindness, compassion, non-judgment, and go, it's okay, we got you. That almost makes me want to cry. Because to support somebody that is going to get shocked that hard, I don't think a lot of people are going to make it. And that's part of their soul contract, but it still hurts. It hurts every time one of my wild doggies that I'm trying to help doesn't make it. I mean, it frickin' deeply hurts because they love on me and they trust me. And they don't trust a lot of other people. And it takes me a lot of time and effort to go around every day and gain these dogs' trust so I can help them, get them to the vet or whatever. And it's not because I'm so great. It's because it's built in. I've loved animals and nature. Who wouldn't? Since I was a little boy. I used to go in the woods every day. And so anyway, yeah, thank you guys for staying on. Thank you for being here at this time. And if you believe anybody would benefit from this, please share it. And I work with 3 or 4 people a month, and I take them through either a 30-day or a 90-day process, and we go deep. And you start to see programs and heal and clear stuff on the very first day. And the reason I'm doing this is because it completely changed my life. I had some incredible mentors and teachers, and most people are running on automatic reactor mode because, again, they have that tiny little belief system, and if anything challenges it, they have an automatic hit because the ego feels threatened. So they automatically react, and if they have an uncleared wound or trauma and anything comes near it or touches it, they have an automatic reaction. And we weren't taught how to go in and heal this stuff and how to clear and identify limiting beliefs. The school system was specifically set up to program people and teach them what to think instead of how to think. And I know anybody watching this knows that, but we're in the time of great change right now. The whole school system is going to have to be wiped out. I mean, they're trying to, teach kids all these different genders and the stuff it's satanic. It is. And I know a lot of you can see it, but the bottom line is we're going to be in a position to support a lot of people. Why we can see things other people didn't see or why we woke up sooner, I don't know why. And I know there's people that are way more awake than I am. I'm not claiming to be on any level, but I figured out how to see the programs and more importantly, how to feel them. Because you can't always see them running underneath the surface because they might be layers deep, but you can definitely feel them. And that's what this process teaches you how to do. So anybody's interested, I would grab this. It's dirt cheap. You get the tracking sheet. And, I've got all kinds of free videos on my YouTube channel that you can use for support. And I constantly come on and share the tools. So if it works for you, great. But the main thing I wanted to come on and do is to support. And even if you disagree with somebody that's in a position of power, step back and just do your best to be neutral, because I used to be a judgeaholic, and that's the biggest addiction on the planet. So I'll give you a mantra for countering judgment. And if you can begin to catch every judgment, which is what the waking up in the dream process does, because you begin to actually track every judgment. And you're not going to catch every one every day, but you're going to start seeing those programs and you go, oh my God, I've been running a lot of automatics. And again, you can't dismantle a program unless you can see it. But as soon as you see it and you're willing to just be honest, it starts to dismantle. It's like shining the light on it. So we're shining the light on a lot of things on the planet. And we've got a lot of assistance, but we've got to stay out of judgment. So instead of judging, practice this mantra. It's only 3 words. Isn't that interesting? isn't that interesting, is neutral. It's like, isn't that interesting? And if you have to take action to, help the school systems, or to help the children, or to expose, something in your neighborhood where somebody's doing bad, then do it. But do it with a higher level of observation where you're not all triggered. And there may be some emotion involved, but moving forward, we're moving into a higher level of conscious awareness where we are observers instead of automatic reactors. And you may feel justified because they're harming the children and this stuff's horrific. I get it. But it's those automatic triggers to catch and go, okay. You saw, or you've probably seen, and I've only seen it on Telegram because I have my channel, where there's these hearings right now. And you can see, and I don't care about, Republican or Democrat, it's all set up to separate people. This whole system it's crumbling. And this is one of the final things to show us. But you see how these Democrats, like Bernie Sanders, and they're attacking, and you can feel the hate inside them because they're being exposed. They've all taken millions and millions of dollars to sell us out from the pharmaceutical industry and all this stuff. And it's even way deeper than that with human trafficking and shit. It's horrific. But you can see them. They're exposing themselves. It's like so obvious. But, using the mantra, isn't that interesting, keeps you neutral, because we could be wrong. We don't want to, be holier than thou. And so, let's shine light on all this stuff. And again, last thing, I know my last thing said it was going to be the last thing, but this is a really good point to consider. The worst people on the planet that appear to be doing the most horrific stuff, like child trafficking or Klaus Schwab or, Gates, who I think was executed years ago in India with his wife. But there's actors, and it's a trip. But here's the deal. What about the possibility that the people that are doing the worst horrific things to wake everybody up are actually super high level ascended masters or angels or whatever that decided to come down here and play the worst roles on the planet in order to wake people up? Because look at it. If we didn't have Klaus Schwab and the WEF, which the person that's being hated the most now actually just pulled us out of and exposed all of them and all the pedophilia and all the bankers, isn't that interesting? If we didn't have these people playing the most horrific roles, just think, this cycle could go on for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, and we'd just be like, okay, well, I guess the dollar's worth more now. Oh, gas came down a little bit. Oh, there might be crypto. We might just be strung along for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. These people that are playing the most horrific roles, they might be saints. So isn't that interesting? So let's be really careful moving forward with our frequency. And what I do is, when I'm lying in bed in the morning, I create my day, and I love on every one of my cells on my body. I play with reverse aging, and I smile to relax everything in my body. And then I ask, how can I serve the collective? And I actually call in the most incredible people show up in my life for assisting Jeff with raising his consciousness, for coming together to help the animals, to help the people. And I just call it in, and I see it as already here now. And I do this before I go to bed as well, because we're creators. It's just that we've forgotten how powerful we are. And so let it be a reminder that, these people that we think are the most horrific and that might be executed, and we're, hoping there's going to be public executions and guillotines. And, I've thought all this stuff too, and I think people should be held accountable. But let's be really careful to not be holding those negative, hateful frequencies within ourselves. And let's just remind ourselves moving forward to be the observer. Just observe, just observe. All this stuff has to come up, and it's going to be triggering, and it's going to be painful. But we have everything within us to make it through this. And I'm telling you what, The opposite of how horrific this has been, just think of how incredible the celebration that's coming, that's going to happen in your lifetime, in our lifetime, is going to be. Healthy food just pouring out of the earth, not having to kill animals or slaughter. And I'm not knocking anybody that eats meat or whatever. I've done both. I've been vegetarian for 6 years. I went back to eating, I'm working with animals, and I'm caught in the middle of all this stuff too. So let's stop judging other people because we think we're right. And let's just do our own inner work and gather together with people that are willing to support each other while still having a different of opinion, because there's a lot of programs and stuff going on. We don't have it all figured out yet. But the number one thing is the dark ones want us to be separated and, oh, you're a vegetarian, you're bad, you're a meat eater. That's how we stay stuck through all that. So let's go, okay, wow. Okay, well, I've eaten meat. I've been vegetarian for 6 years. I had to do this. There may be no perfect example being in a human body right now. I know vegans that are super ill. So I'm not projecting anything on anybody. What I'm asking and inviting is, let's all drop our judgments of these harsh, extreme things. Well, you either got to repent. That's how they get us and keep us separated. Let's ask every morning, how can I serve and how can I come together and how can I have greater insights and compassion for people that might have a difference of opinion while they're waking up, but how can I support them and how can we support each other? This is the key, people. It's not all super cut and dried right now. Okay? I don't have it all figured out, but I know that love is the answer. I know that compassion is the answer. I know that kindness is the answer. No, I don't allow anybody, I'm not a softie, and I don't allow anybody to come in and, be narcissistic or play mind games no, I can feel that frequency like coming a mile away, but I do have compassion and I will gently mirror somebody. And if they don't want to look at their stuff, then they're not going to be in my field or my, I'm not going to hang around people that aren't open-minded. I'm just not, but I will send them love. We've all got family members that might not be aware or awake, and we're all at different levels. So I'm going to leave you with that because that was a lot, but I'm grateful that people stayed on here. And yeah, Robs, we're doing it, man. Yeah, we're doing it. There's waves happening, and I'm glad you're out there. Interestingly enough, I haven't been doing my lives on a specific day, like Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to do them. I'm going to get back to that because a friend of mine in Florida suggested that people catch me. They know they can catch me at a certain time, or they can catch the replay on YouTube or Facebook. But I'm going to be creating a community thing where we can come into a safe space, into my StreamYard room, and we can do a meditation. We can play with frequencies. We can ask questions. We can support each other. We can dismantle limiting beliefs and wounds in a very safe, non-judgmental way, of course. And so I'm going to be doing that. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody that, is just here right now. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, brother. That makes everything I did this morning, because I have a dog to go help that I got surgery with last week that took me 4 days to catch him. And now there's complications from the surgery and I got to try and catch him again. And I was like, should I do it live this morning or should I go to the vet at 9 a.m. when they open? And now it's 10 a.m., but it's all okay. It's all working out. And your method of breaking the program is golden. Thank you, brother. I studied with some good people and I figured out the process in the book on my own, because I didn't get those 3 pieces: inner healing, dismantling the belief system prison, and then consciously and intentionally creating my reality first thing every day. That's what works for me. And the people that have gone through the mentorship or the book or the online course, as long as they're willing to look at their stuff, they're like, oh my God, I'm seeing these programs like that, because it just does. But we have to be willing to gently put ourselves under a microscope, and there's no getting around it. So if you want to jump in, this is the fastest process I've ever found. So again, here's a link for the book. It's portaltoawakening.com. If you want to reach me, you can reach me on Facebook or through the website. Send me a private message if you're interested in doing some journeying together or whatever, if you have questions. And just thank you, everybody, for being here at this time and staying on this long. I'm honored. It gives me momentum to continue because I do see that people are hungry for this information. And it doesn't mean that you don't already know this, but we're coming together and I see the wave and I've seen it over the years and it's exciting and it's great. And what a great time to be here and what a great time to be able to hold space compassionately for other people that they're going to definitely need some support. So big, big love to you from Thailand. Share this out if you feel people would benefit. And I'm just sending lots of love and gratitude. So until next time, big, big love from Thailand. And stay excited. That's my favorite word, excitement. That's the highest frequency. So big, big love.